What it is going on, guys, and welcome to the MrWWEcam channel. It has been a long time without hearing my beautiful, beautiful voice, but I am back for a WWE Raw review, and it feels great to be back. Yeah, it's been a long time. I don't actually know how long it is, or has been, sorry, since I've done a review. But yeah, lots of reasons. But yeah, it's just been shit really recently. But we won't get into that. We're here for the review and not about, shit that's been going on. It's completely irrelevant. But I'm back here now with a review. And of course, I'll be here hopefully for the foreseeable future until, whatever else happens again. Let's hope not. But I just want to try and find out exactly when the last time I uploaded a review of any sort was. And, yeah, I'm just going to quickly check that out so we can find out. I think that'd be an interesting fact. Wow, it's been over a month, guys. 22nd of May, 2017 was the last time I uploaded. But I will get an upload done in June with this Raw review. That was the Backlash review and results show. But we're back with a Raw review today. And an eventful night on Monday Night Raw. As I say, just recently with WWE, basically since the review, I've been all over the place with WWE. I've managed to watch every single episode, but I've just not been paying as much attention. I hadn't really. It had been on in the kind of background. Like for example, last week's SmackDown, I didn't finish it until Monday. I watched half on Thursday, and then I watched, as I say, the rest of it yesterday. So I was just all over the place, but I'm finally back to being able to watch it regularly. It's crazy, really, because usually for me, the first thing I do on a Tuesday and the first thing I do on a Wednesday is watch Raw, watch SmackDown. They are my priorities. Until I get that done, I'm not doing anything else that, I have to do type fit. Well, unless obviously, like how it was before school. But look, even when I was at school, my first thing when I came back from school on a Raw or a SmackDown night was watch Raw and SmackDown. I sat down, I watched it, got that done before I did anything else. And that was how I always did it. And the last few weeks, it's just been a complete fucking disaster. And as I say, I've been watching Raw, and then, I've realised, I'm not even paying any attention to it. So when KWE, you sent the reviews, really did appreciate that, because it was fantastic for me then just to go back and read through and kind of go, oh yeah, I can remember that bit. Oh, wasn't paying much attention to that bit, and just have a bit of a summary of what was going on. So I appreciate that while I was gone, but I'm back now, and hopefully, for as long as I can. As I say, we'll take it, as we do, take every day as it comes, and just sort of see, what happens, and if I don't get a review out for a specific reason, it is what it is. But I'm going to try and get back to sort of a bit of a routine, I think. And once you get yourself to a routine, then things happen to be a little bit easier. But I enjoyed Raw. Maybe it's because it was for the first time in a long time, first time in about a month where I properly 100% paid attention to Raw and watched it on the day, watched it in one thing, hadn't sort of watched it in fucking 5 different sit-ins type thing. I don't know, maybe it was that, but I really enjoyed it. And we saw first, Roman Reigns came out, said a few things, the crowd were hot in California tonight, yesterday night even, and he didn't really have to say much, but he doesn't. I like this arrogant side to Roman Reigns. It's a side to Roman that I want to see more of, and I know they're not ever going to turn him fully heel, but this will do for me if Vince is so stubborn that he won't turn him completely heel. I like it. I like the fact he comes out and arrogantly tells us this is his yard now. Why have you got a shot at the title at SummerSlam, Roman? Well, because it's my yard. I like that. I don't like that he's just been given a shot, but the way he responds to it is absolutely perfect. And, as you can imagine, midway through Roman Reigns talking about Braun Strowman and the match at Great Bars of Fire, out comes, I suppose Strowman didn't come out, did he? But the sirens on the ambulance start to go, and you hear it coming into the arena, and you're thinking to yourself, is Strowman in the back? Nah, that is too obvious. Roman goes down. He's expecting Strowman to be in there. I mean, WWE superstars, as we know over the years, are very, very dumb. He opens the door, and it's no shock. Strowman's not there. Then just bang, from behind, Strowman attacks him. Little bit of offense got in there by Roman Reigns. You're thinking he's turning this round. Maybe this is Roman Reigns' night to be on top. But no, in maybe what is a preview, I don't think so, I think Roman Reigns will win. Maybe what is a preview at Great Balls of Fire, Braun Strowman absolutely brutally smashes Roman Reigns off the ramp into the ambulance. It was a brutal spot. Roman went arm first. I'm surprised he didn't fucking injured his arm. I haven't looked on WWE.com. It wouldn't surprise me if I went on there and it said Reigns is out for 6 months because he broke his arm. Absolutely brutal. And then it was just dominance from Braun Strowman. Raw! I'm so happy he's back. Love Braun. That is what Raw has been missing. That little bit had gone since Strowman has gone and he's finally back, and this feud has been a fantastic one. When we look at it at the end of the year, Roman Reigns, Braun Strowman's feud is going to be up there for feud of the year, but there's a long way to go yet. We're only halfway through this very long and very shit. Yeah, anyway, into the ambulance, Braun Strowman puts Roman Reigns, and it looks like Braun Strowman has won them. I don't know where I was going with that. But basically, what I'm saying is if Strowman does this at Great Balls of Fire, he will be the victor and Roman Reigns will be the loser. And how's that for heading into a SummerSlam main event as a loser? Maybe then it would be Braun Strowman facing Brock Lesnar for the WWE title, or Samoa Joe, depending on the result of the other match. Now, this is the one thing I'd like to add to this feud. Give it a number one contendership. Say, look, Reigns, because effectively, if Strowman beats Reigns at Great Balls of Fire, Strowman's surely going to go on and face the winner of Samoa Joe and Brock Lesnar, surely. So let's just make it official. Let's give it that added sort of, stipulation. The added, what's the fucking word? I don't know what the word is. I do know what the word is. I can't think of it. You know what I mean? That added kind of element. That's still not the word I was thinking of. But anyway, and yeah, just put it in. I mean, look, if Roman Reigns wasn't going to SummerSlam and that wasn't a thing, then this would be absolutely fine, an ambulance match. But as he is, it's got to kind of be added to make kind of things make sense. Otherwise, it's plainly obvious that Roman Reigns is going to win this match and march on to SummerSlam. I hope that's not the case, but I believe that will be the case. Because, as I say, Roman Reigns can hardly go into SummerSlam having lost to Braun Strowman, even though it is an ambulance match. It's going to be a brutal match. It's going to be a great one. Can't wait to see it. Great Balls of Fire shaping up to be a fantastic pay-per-view and a great way to open the show. A bit of brutality, and a little bit of a what's the word? Preview to the ambulance match at Great Balls of Fire. Just enough to get us excited, but not giving too much away. And I like that. It's clever booking. Great opening segment. We then got a 6-man tag match. The Hardys and Finn Balor against Cesaro, Sheamus, and Elias Sampson. That's one thing that we really have seen since I last did a review. That's been the rise of Elias Sampson. Very impressed with him. I think he's very good in the ring. His singing's irritating, but it does the job. It's not as irritating as Aiden English. Thank fuck he stopped doing that on SmackDown. But yeah, I mean, I've really, really enjoyed it. And I think he's good. Is he? The only thing is, I feel like he might get lost in the shuffle a little bit, and it's going to be a case of with this Balor feud with him, can he come out of this looking like, you know what, Balor didn't step down to him. This was really a very decent pair. If he can come out of this looking good, Elias Sampson, the future is bright for him. Of course, he'll no doubt lose this feud. But what he needs to do is come out of it not looking like, well, Finn Balor had to step down to face me, but really that Finn Balor had to step up. We had to see the best of Finn Balor for him to take down Elias Sampson. And I think that's something I hope we get to see. The rivalry between the Hardys and Sheamus and Cesaro rolls on. Why? Probably because there's not really another tag team that can face the Hardys at the moment. I would have thought if the Hardys do manage to beat Sheamus at Great Balls of Fire, I tell you what, I plugged that name so much tonight. I mean, Vince McMahon would friggin' love me. But if they do manage to beat him, I'm not going to say it again, then, of course, I think it will more than likely be the Revival come on the scene and we get the Hardys versus Revival, which is going to be a great match. If Sheamus and Cesaro wins, it is all up in the air. But I enjoyed this 6-man tag match. I thought it had energy, it had pace. I know people that have probably been watching WWE for the past month religiously and properly, unlike me, probably go, this is just a standard 6-man tag match. But for me, very much enjoyed it. It is clear to see Matt and Jeff have lost a little bit of speed, but, they make up for it with their jaw-dropping at times high flying, and yeah, just you know, they are legends at the end of the day. And even if they did put on a bad match at this point, I don't think really anybody would give a shit. Balor though came in, and just as soon as Balor came in, instantly the speed, the intensity, and you just felt that the room just erupt. And that's what Balor does. He is that X factor. He is that it. He has got that it factor. And it's something you can't give somebody. They've either got it or they haven't. Balor has. Balor and Cesaro in the same ring at the same time is a beautiful sight. Love to see them go at it. Not like that. In the ring, not in the bed. At a future date. Finn Balor, though, getting the victory for his team. And the Hardy Boys and Balor get a victory over Cesaro and Sheamus and Elias Sampson. Looks like Balor and Sampson will continue their feud, probably with a match at Great Balls of Fire. And as we know, tag team match will happen between Cesaro and Sheamus and the Hardy Boys, and whoever wins will probably, that will end the feud. So it's kind of like a rubber match for them. We then got Gold Dust versus R-Truth. Well, kind of. We've seen a lot of backstage segments which I haven't watched religiously. As I say, when you're not paying attention to Raw, these are the kind of segments that you completely forget even existed. Gold Dust in his retro gear, like that. So yeah, I mean, I've been kind of looking forward to this since Goldust brutally attacked R-Truth. That's the last thing I can really remember. I know there has been some promos, haven't been watching them. So I'm still kind of, my last thought with this feud is that. So maybe that's a good thing that I didn't hear the promos. I don't know. If you watched the promos, did it make you excited for this match? Or did it just, not help at all? I don't know why it took so long for these two to face each other. It does mean a little bit of the excitement has kind of slowly dwindled. But it was a decent match. No, it wasn't. It never began, did it? Let's not joke about these things. But it was still decent. We got to see Goldust again brutally attack R-Truth, like we saw last time. Having his fucking film person production guy there as well was just kind of an added element as well. Look, where these two go after this feud is slightly worrying. Maybe we get one last run for Goldust. It's kind of what I think it is. This will be his last run. Beats R-Truth, goes on and does a couple of other stuff. Maybe gets, I don't know. I mean, I can't see him as the IC champion, but you never know. I don't know, but I feel like he's winding up to his final run. And yeah, I mean, this certainly builds up the sympathy we've got for R-Truth and that sort of feeling of we want to see R-Truth get one up on Goldust. But ultimately, I don't really think that's going to happen. Although the story would suggest that, and WWE logic in the past and how they've done stuff in the past in this regard would suggest that. I don't think that'll be the case. I actually think that, Goldust has got to win this, really, because I think this is kind of his see you later tour. But we'll have to wait and see when they do finally face each other, what sort of match they'll have. It'd be interesting to see. But yeah, animosity build up with this. We then got The Miz welcoming out the Ball family. Don't watch baseball, basketball. I know they're basketball, but I don't watch it, if I'm honest with you. So a lot of the stuff kind of went over my head a little bit, but I didn't mind it. I mean, the big guy who probably I should know, LeVar, I think his name is. I mean, he just kept talking over everybody. And it was kind of pissing me off. I mean, it wasn't terrible. I was really like, I don't want to say baseball. If you like basketball, was probably decent. If you don't, you probably like me and didn't know what the fuck was going on half the time. But it's okay. Miz, you see what sort of a spot Miz is in the company. They trust him out there with elite talent. They do trust him, and he does get these kind of spots. He is the IC champ. I do want to see him and Ambrose when they have. This has got to be their final match. Miz wins, and we see Miz move on. I think it's time for those two to move on and stay apart for a little bit each other. Although I'm enjoying their feud, although I think I lost a little bit of momentum this week. Personally, I know a lot of people have been critical of the last couple of segments between them, with the Bears and the whole Maurice thing and Ambrose Hyde. But I've enjoyed them. They have been some of the segments that I really enjoyed from Raw. The ones I paid attention to, I really enjoyed. Maybe it's because I'm secretly still a 6-year-old. I don't know, but I did enjoy them. I can't lie. But I felt like the momentum's slightly been lost this week with this segment. It was okay. Ambrose came out. Finally, the LeVar, or whatever the fuck his name is, went out. And then we saw The Miz with what they called the Miz Tourage or something like that. Curtis Axel and Bodazo, of course, teamed. I like the team. I think it's got potential. And the fact they won shows me that WWE might think the same. Don't get me wrong, I don't think he'll be winning many matches. But it looks like WWE are like, yeah, this isn't going to be like a 2-minute thing. We might let's go for a couple of months at least. And I don't mind that at all. Beating Heath Slater and Rhino, as well as Dean Ambrose. Yeah, cheap, of course it was. Probably get a rematch next week. What, Slater and... oh, yeah, so there's kind of been a bit of animosity. I mean, it is what it is, and as I say, I think the momentum's slightly lost here, but a decent win for the Mr. Raj, and, giving Dallas and Axel something to do, it is decent as well, because I think they're both very, very good in the ring. I think Dallas is good. He's got a nice mean streak, and Curtis Axel, of course, has got pedigree with Mr. Perfect running in the blood. So that really didn't make sense, but you know what I mean. His father being Mr. Perfect. We then got... oh, I'm going to tell you what I enjoyed last week's last segment. Again, a lot of people criticising it was a little bit too long. Again, I enjoyed it. Enzo Amore and Big Cass, although slightly predictable, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the fact that rather than Cass just attacking him straight away, he waited. He got out he got out that honesty. He got out what he felt like he needed to say for a long friggin' time. He got that out. And I like that. And I know some people will be critical of it and say, he should have just hit him straight away and we should have got that this week. I disagree. I enjoyed that we got it last week because it allowed us to have this week. And you think for a second... to be honest, they never fooled me. I always knew they were never ever going to reunite. I thought when the music hit, I thought maybe it's going to go on till next week and then Cass will turn on again. But no, this was fantastic. You saw... honestly, the promo package they played before as well, of, their history together, it really is emotional, and I'm not even joking. I feel so bad for Enzo, although he's a little shit and he pisses me off, and I can relate to Big Cass, Lenny as I like to call him, I can relate to him, but I felt sad for him, and there were genuine tears for Enzo Amore, and... from Enzo Amore, and there was a genuine feeling of empathy towards him and sadness towards him that he has lost his best friend. And Cass came out and the crowd was shitting on him, and that shows this has worked a fucking treat. Big Cass, so much better a heel in the face. I always knew this was going to be the case. I say it about lots of superstars, and look, it has worked a friggin' treat. And Enzo Amore pleaded with Cass, please come back. Please, let's not throw everything away. And then Cass, looked like, yeah, I'm sorry, I made a mistake. You annoy me, but we're brothers. Onto the ramp they go. Put the hand up. Bang! And just like that, Enzo Amore's reunion, or as he thought it was, with Big Cass, came to a crashing ending. And this will be the nail in the coffin of SAWFT. There's no coming back from this. Big Cass then threw Enzo Amore down the entrance ramp. Another fucking brutal spot to add to the night of brutal spots. And yeah, a very sad moment, but Cass standing strong, looking like a true boss. And look, Cass is clearly going to win this feud. There's no way Enzo Amore is going to get that lucky win. But it's about what happens next. I think we see Amore and Cass go at it. I think we see a pretty dominant display from Cass, a little spell from Enzo Amore, and then I think we get, after the match, Big Cass just fucking brutally attacking Cass attacking Amore, until whoever Cass is going to face next, whether it be Big Show or somebody else, comes out, makes a save, starts that new feud. And what happens for Enzo Amore from here? He's kind of got two options. He can either sort of go away for a few months and maybe find another tag team partner, or he can turn into kind of a managerial position, which I think he'd be good at. He just needs to stop the whole shit at the start, because it's still pissing me off. Cass needs a new entrance, but things looking good in this rivalry, one of the hottest rivalries in WWE at the moment. And credit to them, they've had 2 segments 2 weeks in a row, and they've worked very well. And they got good spots on the show last week, midway through the show on this week, but they delivered both times, in my opinion. But they got Seth Rollins versus Kurt Hawkins. Just so you forget that Kurt Hawkins exists, bang, you got to face the fact that he is still in WWE. Not have a problem with him, it's just the way he's fucking booked. And I mean, Rollins looked a little bit kind of out of it to begin with. And Kurt Hawkins kind of started off decent. And then Seth Rollins eventually, it wasn't it wasn't, a long time, but it was long enough to go, wow, Wyatt got into the head of Seth Rollins here. Seth Rollins came back, won with the new finisher, although Seth Rollins, he has stole it from me, gets the win. Bray Wyatt's up on the big screen, and yeah, basically, I don't know what Wyatt said, if I'm honest with you. And it is that kind of thing of, look, don't get me wrong, I'm looking forward to Seth Rollins and Bray Wyatt facing each other, but Wyatt needs to slightly evolve his character because it is getting slightly dry, slightly boring. And it is mainly because he never backs up what he says, and it's through no fault of his own. There's no doubt Seth Rollins will win this feud. Just been on the cover of WWE 2K18 even. I'm still in 2016. There's no doubt he'll win this, and it is getting to that point where you're like, ugh. You know what I mean? What I'd like to see is, I think they missed a trick. I think Wyatt and the Wyatt family were strong. He should have come out of WrestleMania as a champ and should have, reigned on SmackDown. But no, they decided to go against that. What I want to see is a new Wyatt family. I want to see Wyatt. Look, there's two options. You either make the Wyatt family strong again, sound like Donald Trump, or you turn Wyatt face. It's as simple as that, really. Something's got to happen. There's got to be that kind of switch up. He either needs to go to a kind of, look, and I know what you're thinking. How can Wyatt go to a darker place? But he either needs to go to a darker place, turn face, have a stronger Wyatt family and start winning. But he's all got to start winning, essentially. All of those three options: turning face, changing and evolving his character ever so slightly, making the Wyatt family strong. All three of those require him to start winning matches. And it's just a case, will WWE ever do that to him? I don't know. I really don't know. And I think WWE neglect Wyatt because they see him as somebody who's untouchable. It doesn't matter how many times he loses. But I think we're starting to work out, as many of us have been moaning for a long time, is that it does matter wins and losses, and that now Wyatt is looking kind of stale. And I never thought I'd say that. So yeah, I mean, the match will be great. Don't get me wrong, but there needs to be something in this feud. Talking about a feud though, you look at the pay-per-view, Great Balls of Fire. This is a feud that is on fire. Lesnar and Samoa Joe is a match made in heaven. It's a match God Almighty made himself. Praise the Lord. Thank you for making this match, God. Thank you for giving us Joe and Lesnar as the specimens that they are so they can face each other. I know God's probably not listening to me right now, but let's just say he is. Thank you. Praise the Lord. And he choked. I'm losing my voice. Talking about choking, Lesnar was choked out and he went to sleep. But what a feud this has been! Oh my God, we've had a brawl. We've had a freaking shit. I'm loving this. I'm loving this, and it is the first time in a long time. You look into the eyes of Samoa Joe and you see a man who does not fear Brock Lesnar. I'm a massive Brock Lesnar fan. I'm a massive Samoa Joe fan, but I've always been a fan of Suplex City, and I think Joe is going to Suplex City. But I tell you what, Lesnar is going to have his work cut out to take him to Suplex City. Heyman cut a little promo beforehand. Out comes Heyman. Out comes Lesnar. Bang from behind. I cannot say the fucking submission. Kahina clutch. I can't fucking say it properly. Kahina clutch. I said it right in the end. Lesnar, he's on his knees. You think yourself, oh my God. Somehow Lesnar kind of gets out of it. Bang. Pushes Joe into the screen thing. But then Joe's still locking it in. Gets it in. Lesnar's on one knee and you're thinking, holy shit. This motherfucker, this beast is about to go to sleep. But no. The Samoan is just stopped from putting Lesnar to sleep because they're reviving a couple of other people come out and just about break these two apart. I say break the two apart. Break Joe apart. And it is a case of that. Joe's so dangerous. He locks that in. It is game, set, and match. And Lesnar has to watch for that at Great Balls of Fire. Because if he does, get behind him and you lock that in, Lesnar, it's over. Like Heyman said after, it is over. But Heyman made a good point. Everything so far from Joe has been cowardly. It has been an attack from behind. But that's Joe. But it is something we don't see against Lesnar. Hell, people don't even square up to Brock Lesnar, let alone attack Brock Lesnar from behind, let alone attack Brock Lesnar's advocate, let alone stand face to face with Brock Lesnar and say, I'm not scared of you. Joe is the real deal. And at Great Balls of Fire, these two are going to collide in what could be a match of the year candidate if it's allowed to be. It is such a shame that we don't get to see this match and then a rematch at SummerSlam. Damn it, I'd love to see it, but this is going to be brilliant. The question still remains, if Lesnar is going to win, which I expect to happen, how does Joe come out looking? He's got to look strong, but this was, up there with the best segment of the night. There's been some very good segments. The opening segment was great. The Enzo Amore thing was great. This was great as well. And the fucking promo Heyman cut backstage, this man is a genius. By far, the best promo worker in the world. I've said it before, I'll say it again. He could sell a match between a teddy bear and a broomstick. That's probably bringing you out the WAD days, isn't it? Teddy bear matches. But seriously, he could sell a match between two teddy bears. He is that damn good. Look, this feud, this match, sells itself. Joe Lesnar, I'm sold. They didn't even need to do anything. And sometimes WWE, when they're in they're in that state where they can basically go, we need to do fuck all. This match sells itself. They usually do. They just allow it. We see Lesnar come out, Heyman cut a nice little promo, and we just let it sell itself. We don't do much work for it. No, damn, they've gone all in. They have put all their balls into one flaming basket in a Great Balls of Fire. That basket is going to explode, and it is going to be resulting in Lesnar and Joe going at it. What a feud, being booked brilliantly by creative, and it is a perfect example of when a match sells itself. Don't just let it sell itself. Add flame to the fire and make it damn hot. And this feud is hot. Did you like there how I kind of flaming, fire, hot? I was on balls I even brought into it. That was a beautiful, beautiful speech from myself, if I say so myself. Anyway, the next up we got a cruiserweight thing. I don't know. I honestly didn't watch it. I don't really watch the cruiser. I watch them at the paper. I don't really know what's going on. I know there's kind of been a thing with Titus O'Neil and Tozawa, I can't say his name. And I think Neville and Tozawa will probably face each other at the paper. That might even have been confirmed. I don't honestly know. And if that is the case, great. Will probably be a great match. What happens between O'Neil and that in the future, we'll have to wait and see. And oh my God, WWE is finally pairing. Well, admittedly, they're not paired together yet, but it looks like we might actually get a black and a white pair in the WWE. It always seems to be the case that when black people, they always seem to stay, like in New Day, they're all black. I know they have a problem with it. It's something I noticed the other day. And even with Titus and Apollo, it just seems like they're never allowing, never allowing it to the races to mix. It was just a thought that came to my mind. I don't care. I never really fucking noticed it before until I actually thought. I don't know why. I'm like, anyway. So yeah, that's nice to see. Nice to see. Progressive move. But anyway, joking aside, I don't mind this whole Titus brand. I think it's got legs, but we'll have to wait and see whether WWE go all in or all out with it. We then got the number one contenders gauntlet match for the Women's Championship. Look, I'm running out of voice, so I'm going to have to go relatively quick through this, but this was a very, very good match. And up there again with one of the best segments. Now, I can kind of remember from memory what happened in this match. Bayley came out first, put up a valiant effort, but Jax, dominated her. Next up was Mickie James. Was it? Yeah, I think it was Mickie James. Out she comes. Not as much as a good effort. Jax pretty much got her from the start, but it wasn't a quick win. Mickie James, legend that she is, 6-time Women's Champion, put up a fight, but it wasn't enough. Jax, number 2. That's number 2. She is at the moment steamrolling through the Raw Women's Division. Out next comes Dana frickin' Brooks. And it was almost instant. Jax beats her down. And some may say you've just made, 3... Well, let's keep going on anyway. Bang, she's down. Emma comes out. Little fight, but bang, she's down as well. And some will say, look, Jax just steamrolled for the whole of the Raw roster and made him look stupid. I disagree. She steamrolled through the Raw's roster like nothing we've ever seen before. And it made Jax look like a force. It didn't make them stupid, because it didn't happen to one of them. It happened to all four of them. They all got steamrolled. If it happened to one person, it makes them look stupid. It makes them look weak. When it happens to four, you sit there saying to yourself, they aren't stupid, they ain't weak, they're equally as good as each other, but they are nowhere near the level of Nia Jax, and she really is on a roll. Banks, Jax, tore the house down. Absolutely fantastic match. Banks, after God knows what she's been doing in the Cruiserweight division, gets back, gets the victory. Jax looks unbelievable in defeat, and Banks gets the victory, restarts her career, gets herself right back to where she is now. She's just one win away from being champion again. Bliss Banks is, for me, a dream match. Can't wait to see it. Will be great at Great Balls of Fire. What this means for Jax, I don't know. Maybe we see a bit of a team up here coming between Emma, Dana Brooke, Mickie James. Who knows, to kind of try and take down Nia Jax. I don't know. The big thing to say, though, Bayley's had a bad month. How's she going to come back from this? It'll be interesting to see. There's a little story going on there, if you ask me. But a great way to end. I mean, what's his face? Kurt Angle came out. Anyway, shook the hands of Sasha Banks. Ultimate show of respect. It was a great match. And credit to Nia Jax. A lot of criticisms as she got stamina, she looked as fresh as anything. Right from the start, right to the end. She really, really did. And that's ultimately what, Sasha was able to do in the end. She was the fresher of the two and was able to get that comeback, get that momentum, and beat Nia Jax. But Jax looked fantastic in defeat. And then an Alexa Bliss came out to end the show, and you're thinking it's going to be a stare down. But no, Banks gets in, kicks Alexa Bliss, pulls the title up and says, look, get out my ring. I'm the champ. When we face each other at Great Balls of Fire, because I'm going to beat your motherfucking ass. What a night. What a great episode of Raw. Really friggin' enjoyed it. And now we look on to SmackDown Live, where the women take centre stage again. Controversy at Money in the Bank, with Carmella winning the championship. Off James Ellsworth taking the belt, the Money in the Bank briefcase. Yeah, you do hear that right. A man winning the first ever women's championship. But no. Danny Bryan said, no, we're not having the first ever Money in the Bank women's winner match ending that way. We're rerunning this thing. Yes, it's happening. Tonight, live, SmackDown Live, the Money in the Bank match. It restarts. Will we see the same winner come? I didn't mean to say come and then just stop. I meant to say come out, but I forgot to say it. Will we see the same woman come out as the winner? Or will it be somebody different? No matter what does happen, you can expect there to be some fallout, because Carmella's going to feel if she doesn't win, look, this isn't fair, and if she does win, she ain't going to do it cleanly. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Hope you've enjoyed my return. I enjoyed Raw. I'm giving it a solid 7 out of 10. I'm dying. I want my voice.